What's going on, everybody? It's your boy back with another reaction video. And I will be reacting to 3 disturbing true hacker horror stories. Believe this is from Mr. Nightmare, if I'm not mistaken. This just randomly came up on recommended for me on YouTube. So I was I'll watch it. I like these little hacker horror narration. So anyway, without further ado, let's just get into this. Alright, here we go.
The topic of today's video has to do with computer hackers, specifically stories recounted by victims of computer hackers. And this video happens to be sponsored by Atlas VPN, an app that encrypts your data and hides your virtual location online, which makes it harder for people like the hackers you'll hear about in this video to figure out where you are, what you're doing on the internet, and collecting personal data of yours. At the moment, Atlas VPN is the cheapest VPN provider that's able to protect you as well as unlock worldwide libraries of services that could usually be blocked by regional barriers, such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, and more. And it's able to do this by allowing you to change your location to another country. So for example, if the region in which you live doesn't have a specific
I do
title that's
recommend
available to a different
VPNs.
region, you can use
I
Atlas VPN
myself,
to change your location to make that
and
title
I have
available to you. Unlike other
Express
VPNs, which may be
VPN.
clunky
I've
and
had that for
confusing to
years.
navigate, the user
It
interface
works.
for Atlas VPN is very simple and user-friendly. Atlas
I also
VPN
have
strives
I
to
didn't know
provide
I had a
easy and accessible
VPN with
privacy and does not log user activity while they're connected to their
my
servers. Check the link in the
virus
description for
protection.
more info.
I didn't realize I had one. So I just got that virus protection last year, but I had Express for 3 years.
Back when I was 17, my friend told me about this deep web drug website called Dream Market. It was where he bought things like weed and Adderall. He had what he referred to as a trusted dealer, whose information he sent me to buy from. I don't condone doing anything like this. I was simply just young and stupid. I thought buying Adderall would help me with my senior projects. Anyway, I went about doing that. However, this purchase made me intrigued to continue browsing Dream Market and seeing what else one could buy. And I saw this range from counterfeit bills to real guns. This got me more intrigued to view more of the deep web. I found some links somewhere
buy
on
a
Dream
gun that's
Market
part
that
of
led to, I guess, what was a drug
massacre
chat room,
somewhere, a
because
joint
it was just a
robbery.
lot of people seemingly advertising the drugs they were selling and their rates. I found it interesting. Some people would post random .onion links, and I clicked on one. It brought me to a black page with the title Home Base at top in large text. Underneath were a bunch of other random links. I clicked on a bunch of them. Most never loaded, probably being dead links. A couple loaded. One was another chat room. This one didn't have a title.
We're like, you have a virus now.
All random looking, just like the assortment of random letters I inputted just because I didn't care. The chat's previous history showed. A few people were talking in another language. Then another guy was typing in English. That guy was still in the chat room, and actually, before I typed anything, he typed yo directed at me. I typed yo back.
Yo.
He said, "What you looking for?" I typed back, "I don't know, LOL." He asked how I found that link, and I told him just from some site called Home Base. I asked if he had any cool links, as it was my first time on the deep web. He types back, LOL, then sent a link. He didn't say anything else.
He's some sentence
Clicked the
dude
link,
like
and
somebody
it took a
getting
little while to
beheaded or
load the
some shit.
page. It loaded the black background first, then a little text box near the bottom, and the last thing that loaded was a video. At first I thought it was like a pausable video, but it looked to be some kind of live streaming video. The video was black and white, and it was of a dark room with some mannequin-looking thing sitting in a wooden chair. There was this grainy effect to the footage that made it feel more surreal and unnerving. I genuinely couldn't tell if I was watching a live video or not. Then, as if it were some kind of movie jump scare, what I thought was a mannequin in that chair suddenly jumped up and sprinted towards the camera, and a loud, staticky screaming sound accompanied it. The apparent porcelain mask that the person was wearing was so close up on the camera at that point that all I could see was black. I went back to the chat and asked that guy what the hell this was.
The camera?
He replied, "Just keep watching, LOL," and then he left the chat. I went back to the other tab, and the video or live stream window was gone. It was now just a blank screen with a text box on the bottom. The text box didn't let me type anything though. My Tor browser window suddenly closed without my doing,
Oh boy.
And a deep, raspy voice was coming from my speakers.
Gotcha.
Someone
Ass.
obviously trying to disguise their voice. The voice said my first name and claimed they
Oh.
had all my files. Then the webcam window popped up and I saw my face on the screen. I turned off my laptop and went to the Geek Squad at Best Buy where I bought the computer. The guy I spoke to's guess was that he was able to somehow get the basic info off my computer, like my account name. He recommended I factory reset the computer. He helped me with the process. I didn't have anything I was worried about
It's like
losing
on a
there
deep
anyway.
rip,
It was
huh?
a relatively new computer. If you're ever on the deep web, I heavily recommend using some kind of VPN, even for the alleged safe websites.
So all these like cycle back into his ad for Atlas. Like, hey, I recommend a VPN. It'll save your life and your computer.
I'm 24 years old, and I'm from a small town called Yarmouth in Nova Scotia, Canada. I keep my social circle very small, just my few friends and my coworkers, really. I mention that as a point in saying I don't really know anyone who would be out to get me in any way. I browse Reddit a lot in my free time. I'm an active poster. There was this one night when I pulled up Reddit on my browser out of boredom that I had a new message. Not unusual, as I'd have people messaging me in reference to my posts quite often. It was a message request from some random account, a now deleted username. The message said, check your email, your spam folder specifically. I replied back, huh?
Hey,
Why?
who the
Who's
fuck
this?
are you?
In the meantime,
Check
I
my
opened up my
spam.
Gmail and went to the spam folder. There was one email that stuck out from the rest, titled in all caps, I know who you are.
Oh boy.
I opened the email and
I
it was
know
basically a
who you
paragraph full of
are.
my personal information.
I'm in
including
your
my full
bedroom
name,
right
my
now.
Reddit password, my home address,
Oh, they got
along
him.
with threats. Basically, whoever sent the email was asking for a one-time payment of $5,000 through Bitcoin to a specific Bitcoin wallet address. My heart was basically in my throat. I had that terrible feeling of helplessness and like the entire
But
world
dude,
was
I ain't got no
collapsing in on me.
$5,000.
The
Like, I
first
guess
thing
you
I
gonna
did was
release it.
cover my webcam with a piece of tape. Secondly, I went back to Reddit to see if the user ever answered my message. They did not. I went to report the account on Reddit as quick as I could, as if that would even do anything though. I replied to the email, copy-pasting the exact message I sent to the Reddit account, asking who this was, how they got that information, and if this was a prank. I got an email back
Yeah, it
around
sounds
5
like a
minutes later,
prank.
in all capitals, saying, no, it's not a prank. We have all your information, including where you live. So your best course of action is to do as we say, and you'll never hear from us again.
Oh shit.
Obviously, I was not going to shell out $5,000. I don't even make a lot of money to begin with. I
Just say,
contacted
bitch,
all of
I'm
my friends
broke.
asking if it was any of them,
It's like
begging them to just come forward now before I call
$5,000.
the police. None of them admitted to it, so given that I threatened calling the police, I knew it wasn't any of them. I tried to think of anyone at work who might have issues with me, but really I get along with everyone at work. I chalked it up to my password somehow being stolen by malware or a hacker, and through that they somehow got the rest of my information. The main question was, do I pay the money? And that was absolutely
What?
not happening.
I didn't do anything
I forced
bad.
myself to go to sleep
I'd
and left
like
my
release
laptop
it. I don't
on for
give
the
a
whole
fuck.
next day. I used my
It's
desktop
like, I
instead
don't have
after getting home
anything
from work.
bad that I've
I
done.
didn't sign into Reddit or anything though. I did, however, change
Now,
my
unless you
password
like
on
watching
all other
kitty
websites
porn or
and
some
apps on my
shit.
phone. I finally signed into my laptop late that night
I mean,
because I
you
was
already a
just so
sick
bored and
fuck,
curious.
but
Curious but nervous to
Is
see if
that-
anything had changed and if I'd gotten any new emails. I signed on and everything on my computer still looked normal. So I went to Reddit and saw the user who messaged me was now deleted. So I went to a subreddit which talked about computer hackers and scams and such, and I posted my experience. At some point, I noticed the taskbar at the bottom of the screen turned darker. Curious,
Oh,
I
boy.
minimized all my windows, and my desktop wallpaper was different.
they in your
I
computer
knew right away what
already?
it was, though. I recognized the outside of my bedroom window. The
Oh,
white frame of
wow.
the outside windowsill was in the picture, and the flash of the camera also
These
showed me
motherfuckers
laying in
are
my bed,
serious.
sleeping. Some seconds later, a pop-up window appeared, along with the Windows error sound. Inside the pop-up error window
Pay.
was a message saying the word
With a wink.
pay, with a winking face following it. I closed
Pay.
my laptop screen and forced the computer
Or
off
you
by holding the power
dead.
button. I also pulled my blinds down and called my parents. It was still early enough to do so. I told my dad over the phone that some hacker had my info, and he came right over with his truck to help me load any valuables I could think of into his truck to stay with them for a while. Before we drove off from my apartment, my dad yelled like a madman into the night sky, basically threatening whoever was hacking me. It was definitely a scene,
Wow.
but I was
For
too preoccupied with
$5,000
worrying to
in
be embarrassed
Bitcoin?
by it. I stayed with my parents for weeks and used my
Bitcoin
mom's
like
computer when
what,
needed.
56,000
I blocked
per
that email
coin?
address that sent me the original email.
This must have been a
I
while
finally
ago.
got back to my apartment a few days ago. I'm still scared every night to hear a knock at my window or get another threatening email. I haven't brought it to the police yet, as I'm hoping it's all just a bluff
You
still to
need
get me to
to.
pay. I'm also hoping it's over and that they've given up.
A bluff? These bitches showed up at your house and took a picture. Like, a bluff, man. Even if they are, I don't give a fuck.
My name is Miranda.
Go to
I'm
goddamn
25.
police. That's what they
I've
supposed
had
to
my
do.
share of experiences with
It's
stalkers
their
and men
job.
harassing me.
Shit.
Social media has made that far too easy these days. I once got a suspicious email that I should have known better than to open. It was asking me to click a link to some random page because I was being sued by some random company.
Oh, that always
I clicked
lies.
the
I
link,
get this shit
and
all
soon
the
after
time.
that, my computer started acting all glitchy and unresponsive. Even after restarting it multiple times, it was just laggy and slow, and random sound effects would play.
Even
once
if
in a
I
while.
am getting sued, I'm like, hey,
I was
I didn't
certain my
see
computer
it.
had
La,
a
la, la,
virus,
la, la.
but I wasn't sure to what extent it would go just yet. The next day, I had a bunch of friends texting me what's up with that Instagram post and asking if I was the one who even posted it. I panicked and opened Instagram, but I was logged out of my account. Someone was hacking me. This confirmed
That
it.
happened to me when someone logged
If I
like
had
me
my
out of my
Instagram
account,
password, I had no idea
and
what
I
else they
logged
could have.
and I just say
Apparently, the
replace
picture posted
password.
on my Instagram was some stupid cartoon meme. It was extremely embarrassing. Minutes of freaking out later, my Snapchat started blowing up. It was from
Oh,
some
they got
random account that
everything.
just added me. They were spamming me to Snapchat call them, so I did. When they picked up, I saw like a quarter of someone's face. It looked like a young guy in his 20s. I could tell he was smiling. That was the creepy thing. The way he said hello was so long and stretched out. I was pretty frantic, asking what he wanted in return for my Instagram
Hello.
back. He started telling me some really creepy shit. He said he sees me every day and that he thinks I'm really pretty, and that this was the only
Wow.
way he'd get my attention.
You think this
I
is
didn't know what to
the
say.
right way?
He said he'd give me my account back if I would just be his digital girlfriend. As creepy and weird as this was, I said yes in a heartbeat just to get my stuff back. He
What?
told me the password to get back onto my Instagram account. As
Just
soon as I changed the password, I set my profile to private and put a story up
should
saying that wasn't
should
me.
just
I
did
was
replace
hacked.
password.
I asked this guy for his name and what other info he had on me. He said I could just call him John and that he could get all the information about me that he wanted. He said this with a smile too. I could see it in the fourth of his face that he would actually show. He refused to show the rest. I played nice the whole time, knowing this guy's a sicko. I managed to get him off the call by telling him I'd snap him tomorrow. I then told all my friends about it and asked what I should do. They all unanimously said I should activate two-factor verification on my
Yeah, I was
Instagram
just
account
thinking
and then
that.
deactivate the account and then block him. When I did all of that though, he didn't take it too well. An hour later, I got a new Snap user blowing up my Snap. I knew it was him, but I opened the snaps
What the
anyway.
fuck did he think
It
was
was
gonna
him
happen?
again
Somebody,
threatening
oh,
me,
you gonna be my
saying he knows
girlfriend?
where I live, and blocking
Like-
him was a stupid thing to do. I showed it to my parents now because it was getting serious, so my dad called the police. I
Thank
didn't
you.
block the
Somebody
guy's
just
Snapchat
something
yet, though,
smart.
and I'm glad I didn't. As my parents and I were sitting in the kitchen waiting, I got a snap from the guy. It was a video. I waited a few seconds before opening it. It was a video of him sitting in his car in front of our house
Oh boy.
with the caption, "Don't block me again." My dad ran outside in a fit of rage. He tried to stop him, but he wouldn't. But the car wasn't even in front of the house anymore. The guy probably waited until driving away before sending that snap. I'm just gonna say the police did absolutely nothing. They seemed clueless on the matter. But there's not much police could do in hacker situations anyway, apparently. However, I did
Wait,
send a
don't they
snap
have
of the police
cops
car back
like
to the
for
guy.
cyber
Put a
crimes?
caption, "Fuck with me again, you'll be arrested." He opened the snap and immediately blocked me, so I'd say it worked. This story has a happier ending than most, I guess. But the amount of info some people can get from you online is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, you gotta be careful what you post online. Unless somebody like hack into they hack into like your bank account, but then that made them hacking into the actual bank or the app or something like that. But yeah, people can get, yeah, you gotta be careful putting shit online. Like I learned that a long time ago, back in early MySpace days. Like I remember my dad told me, he said, "Be careful what you post online. because he happened to see me on like MySpace. He didn't know what it was, and I told him what it was, and he was like, and he saw I had like written like I figured out how to customize the whole page and all that shit and download stuff to customize your profile and shit. And I forget what I pull up. Like I think I post like a quote or some shit. Like I ain't have anything crazy up there. And he was like, just be careful what you post online because it's even he understood that. And my dad is the boomerest of boomers. Like he understood that then, and like I had to teach him like how to type and shit, like because he's like that old. Like my dad had me late in life. My dad and my mom, they both around the same age, and so they they are. Well, my mom has more of understanding of computers because she did that for years on her job, but my dad does not, and he learned very late in the game about computers. So he was just like, "Be careful what you post," and that's all. I've always tried to be careful in what I post online about anything. And I'll be sitting there like, should I post this? Like I'm pretty vanilla, so I don't have a really dark sense of humor. I mean, my humor can get dark at some times, but I normally only do that with like in person with like friends, and I have done it with friends of friends, and they were like, "Man, that dude is crazy." Like, what the fuck was that joke that he told? Oh, what was that story? I was like, oh, maybe I should tell that around people I don't know, because my friends know my humor. So, but like, it's not. I don't get that dark all the time, but still, I'm very like people tell me dark. I got a lot of friends who have like dark humor type jokes, so we just kind of like that. But yeah, you gotta be careful. If you post online, what you click on. Like I don't click on. Uh, I don't really click on any link, but I got. Uh, I do have really good virus protection stuff like that. So I'm not that worried about it, but I don't just click on links that people send me or emails I get because I know all that shit's bullshit. Like that shit don't. No one sends you. If someone's suing you, they don't send you a fucking email. Like if you getting sued or something like that, you get a summons, like a sheriff or something come to your door and give you a summons. Like it's not. They don't send you a fucking email. Like I don't think I've ever gotten an email once like that. I remember one time I was summoned as a witness in something, and like I was like a teenager, and it was like a fight had broken out, and the police came over and talked to me. I was getting my hair cut, and I saw it happen, and I told them what I saw and stuff like that. And I was the only one who actually said something, and what was me and a woman who was standing in the parking lot of the barber shop. I think her son was getting his hair cut or something like that. So, and she saw it. I think she told the police what she saw. But I remember, like, I think a month later, maybe a couple months later, a police officer came to the door. And it was a sheriff. He came to the door. He was like, "You, is this, what did he say? Is this the?" He said, "I think he said, is Elijah Wade's live here?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he he was like, "Are you Elijah Wade?" And I was like, "Yeah," because he was a cop. So I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "What's going on?" And he just said, "You've been served," and gave me this summons. And I remember reading it. I was like, "Oh shit!" Because at first I thought I was like, "I'm not, I'm being sued for nothing." I don't even need credit for anything. Like I'm being sued for something. But it was for to be a witness, and I completely forgot about it because it was a trial that was going to happen. I think like 6 months or so later, something like that, and maybe it was 4 months, something like that. And I completely, I put it in a drawer, completely forgot about it, and I remember opening the drawer. I put it in a drawer that I hardly ever open. I just throw like junk in, like different like electronics and stuff like that, wires. That's all I might need this. Like don't throw it away if something it came with broke. Not it was just a junk drawer. Everybody got a junk drawer. And I remember opening up, and I was looking through there, and I saw it, and I was oh shit. I was like, oh shit, I forgot I had this summer. Now, mind you, this was like probably 2 or 3 months after I was supposed to be the date that was on the summer. And I remember telling my dick I was nervous about it. I was like, what? But I had nothing has happened. No one has like come again. I said, plus it was just it was for a witness. Like what they gonna arrest me or something? And then my dad was like, if they didn't contact he said they didn't contact you again, then probably didn't even need you. So or you maybe they just whatever you didn't show up. Or but I was for a little while I was nervous about that. I was like, because I'm thinking about like TV. I was like, oh you can't force anybody to be a witness. You because they just uh gave me a summons. Like you get somebody who like you be someone who's being sued because I have on my dad some it was something you getting sued for something I think it was like payday checks not payday checks like some the payday advance places and I think he was getting America I think he was getting like sued or something for uh overdue payments and I remember they came they was like hey it was but to get this guy came in plain clothes and he was like hey is he said my dad's name and I was like yeah he lives here and he fooled me because if he was in cop car I'm like nah he don't live but black folks we know like if somebody coming to your door like to ask if somebody live there like nope you just say no like that's why they come in like plain clothes not to try to trick people you just like nope I don't know them I don't know they don't live here but yeah it was like he got like a summons because he's being sued for I feel like some payday advance on somebody but he was in plain clothes but yeah it's I've never had I've had my computer like when I've called now not this computer I have now but I think my old computer and I was helping the guy out with his computer because his computer like had viruses all in it. It had so much porn on it. He apparently somebody told him that I was good with computers, and I was like, "Fuck told you that?" Because I only met this guy I think like once or twice before, and barely spoke to him. And he was like, he was like, "Hey, I heard you was good with computers." I was like, I'm alright. I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm that good. That I have a reputation of being good with computers. I could go in there and figure out stuff as I just look up stuff, you know. But his computer, I just couldn't figure out. And then I remember putting, I had Norton, antivirus protection on my computer. So I put it on his computer to get rid of the virus. But it was still something over his computer I couldn't get and figure out how to do. So I had to call. Uh, I think he had a Toshiba, something that called like they helpline or whatever. Because I had a Toshiba too at the time, and I called a helpline, but I had to pretend that I was him. Because they're gonna be like, "Why are you calling, trying to get us to open up stuff?" Because I couldn't open up stuff as the administrator, and he didn't. I don't know if he didn't set up like a password or something like that. Because sometimes you have an administrator and like, well, what's the password to the computer and shit like that, and I didn't know it because he gave it to me and the computer was already unlocked. So I was like, I was pretending I was him. I was like, I forgot what the password was and all this stuff. And I remember it was an Indian guy, and he was just going through. He took control of the computer. He's, I'm gonna take control of your computer now, okay? And then I remember seeing the mouse. go over and stuff like that. I did that with my dad too. I called because something was wrong with his computer, and I think we had a Dell at the time because now he has like a Apple computer. But I think he had a Dell or something at the time. But I had to do that with him. I had to call, and they took control to try to click through rather than telling you what to do. They just said, "Well, we'll do it." And I remember that guy. I ran virus tech, and I just told him, I said, "You got virus protection on his computer for," because I had just re-up, I mean, re-upped for Norton, so I had I think a whole year. So I said, "You got a year of Norton on there now," I had I think it was a disc, and I put it on there. So you got that up there now, and he was, "Oh, okay, cool." So you can, so because it was basically just a bunch of fucking viruses from like a bunch of, I don't know, stuff he was downloading, uh, and like it was like a bunch of porn sites. I was like, man, I thought I had a lot of porn. Like, sheesh. Oh, but anyway, I hope you all enjoyed my reaction. Everyone, if you did, make sure to hit that thumbs up button down below. Make sure to subscribe if you're new here. Hit that bell. You'll be notified when I upload new videos. Comment down below. Share this video. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.